it's starting to make me a bit sad. I see it a lot. Just the aimlessness of students. Kind of like Guy Ritchie on Rogan when they talk about this kind of abstract sort of metaphor of putting on the suit, and it's like one of them. You can picture the guy that doesn't have the why. It's kind of like just chucking it on and like just like trying to put it on quite quickly in the morning, and it's kind of like a hassle. Whereas the other guy's spending a lot of time like really ironing his like shirt and doing up his buckles and rolling his sleeve perfectly and putting that little corner pocket thing in. And that second guy has a why, and the suit kind of represents the kind of the mode that you approach the day. And when you do have that suit on really nicely, it's like you feel more alive. And I think when you said like doing things out of love, I would kind of say similar lines of like doing things that make you feel alive, or doing things that give you depth in the present moment. And I think so a lot of it is out of our own choice. And I guess I also thought about Nietzsche's "He who has a why can borrow almost anyhow," and how that's such it's a thing that people like need to know, I guess. And yeah,
I'm really pleased that you alluded back to that Guy Ritchie point of how important it is to want to wear the suit. Like, I feel like that idea is pretty similar to what I've just said there, because that's all about your intention. If you treat everything you do as being important, you will get better outcomes because you'll do better work, but also at the same time, you'll get a better experience doing it. And I think it's hard if you have, I guess it's hard if you have no like attachment to your job, or like you gain no satisfaction from it to then want to wear the suit in that situation. And maybe I'm blinded by the fact that I'm lucky that I do something where I do want to wear the suit.
Yeah, I think it's a blessing, because I recently got 68 on my group project, but did I want to get 68 or did I have to get 68? And luckily for that time, for me, like doing reflection, no, I wanted to get it. I wanted to get it. But if you're in uni because of pressure from your parents, you have to get it, and you're not wearing like you're doing the suit. You're wearing the suit as like
wearing you.
Yeah, you're forcing yourself to wear the suit, and I think that is a privilege that you have, and hopefully I will have, is that we will be able to want to wear the suit in kind of like a career thing. And that's why I think there's so many troubled students that I speak to, because they feel like they have to get the job, and it's not like a want to get a job. It's kind of just the necessary next step. Like you leave uni, and then you have to learn how to drive, and then you have to get a job, and then you have to get married, and it's kind of going through life just forcing yourself to wear the suit.
Life just becomes one big fucking to-do list. You know, it's very relevant at the moment because there's a new series of Stranger Things out. I don't know if it's something you're into, but
is that out?
I very much enjoyed the first half of season 5. I'm not going to say any spoilers or anything, or even talk about it. But there's this point in the previous season, season 4, that Vecna, like the evil guy, says when he's starting his like arc of being evil, where he's like shouts at 11 or something and goes like, all that life is to most people is just you work, you procreate, and then you die. And I feel like he reflects a lot of people's mentality when he says that. I mean, I remember being in like my early years of secondary school, like year 8 or 9, and just like having my first kind of reflections on like, is life just working towards exams, and then you leave school, and then you work at a job every week, and that's just your life? Like, I think everyone goes through that, don't they? They question like, why should I wear the fucking suit? What's the point in the suit?
But they're not courageous to want to wear the suit.
Yeah.
It's the biggest thing that holds people back. They understand where their life could be, and they understand what type of thing they could dress, but they're courageous to make a change.
Do you think it comes back to something that Peterson said? He was talking about his first job as like a dishwasher in like a restaurant, and he said that people like don't respect like the first stage of their personal development. And he was like, if you're doing a job like that, you can do it really well. You can be the best like dishwasher in the world, and then from that, you'll be more appreciated by your employer if he or she is competent enough to notice good work. And then you might get promoted at that job, and then you may work there and get a really good reference to go somewhere else, or that the skills that you'll build through disciplining yourself to do what's considered a shit job very well, those skills are then transferable. They're meta skills that you can use later down the line. Like, can you try and be the best at whatever suit you're wearing at the moment to then get to a point later down the line where you're wearing one you really want to wear? I don't know. Like, it's so hard because I'm skewed by my own bias and my own privilege. But like, I didn't give a shit about my GCSEs really. Like GCSE physics, I've never even thought of something that I learned in GCSE physics after that exam. But I tried for it, maybe just because I had low self-esteem and the good result would help that. But I also had a philosophy at the time that trying hard at something will always lead to good outcomes, no matter what it is. I don't know.
I think you gotta want to wear the £100 suit before you want to wear the £10,000 one. And I think the dishwasher example, I think it's like discipline is doing the same repeated task without the idea of a reward. And I just want to highlight though how hard that is to find meaning within something that's a bit unpleasant.
Especially when you feel fucking underappreciated and like underpaid and like you're tired and hungry and you know what I mean? It's hard.
But like, I reflect as a 14-year-old KP, that's what they called it. I reflect as a 14-year-old KP, and I would just like wander down to my hotel and wash dishes to get a check and to get some free food. And like, I just want to, like, it's so hard to like want to be the most perfect dishwasher like ever, like to recondition your brain and be like, I'm hyped to wash these dishes.
It takes a special kind of human.
But I think when you point to the kind of scout, you get scouted, and now you're like working in like a luxury restaurant washing dishes, and then maybe you get an opportunity to start prepping some chef meals, and now you're a chef. It's true. No, it's true. That shit happens.
And that's obviously a very specific example, but I think that's a applicable narrative to everybody, I guess.
Well, it's your mum's record label example, right? About making the tea.
Do your time making the tea. Yes. I'm glad you fucking hell. Well done, Jake. I didn't even know you remembered that, or I even said that to you before, but yeah. You got to do your time making the tea. This is what I say to him. I've got this friend. He's quite a recent friend. He's quite fresh to my sport, and he's just like started at uni, and I've kind of taken him under my wing a bit. And like he's so frustrated with like his like lack of skills or progress. But I say to him, bro, you've been playing the game for 2 years. Like I've been playing for 12. That's why like I shoot the ball how I do, because it's years of reps, and the progress he's made in a short space of time is monumental. So he's on such a sick trajectory. But I kind of had to say to him, like, you've got to do your time being shit. You know, I was terrible at like understanding what basketball is for like 9 or 10 years. And, you know, I'm not a finished project by any means now. I've got so much more work to do. But you have to do your time being bad at something.